The perfect crime doesn't exist, but 5 crews in history came terrifyingly close. Tonight, 5 real heists. Billions stolen, some of it never found. No Hollywood, no CGI. Every detail you're about to hear actually happened. A museum robbed by fake cops while the guards were tied up in the basement. A gang of pensioners who drilled through a bank vault wall over a long weekend. And a tunnel dug under a city so precise it had air conditioning. By the end, you'll understand why some of these files are still open, and why someone watching might know something. File 1. The Gardner Museum. The biggest art theft in human history. Boston. March 18, 1990. 1:24 a.m. The city is still drunk from St. Patrick's Day. 2 men in police uniforms buzz the side door of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. Police were responding to a disturbance. The night guard breaks protocol and lets them in. Within minutes, both guards are handcuffed in the basement, duct tape over their eyes. For 81 minutes, the thieves walk the museum like they own it. They take a Vermeer, 3 Rembrandts, including his only seascape, 13 works, $500 million, the largest property theft in world history. Then they simply drive away. Nobody sees a thing. Here's what makes investigators lose sleep. The choices were strange. They cut priceless canvases from their frames, damaging them like amateurs. They ignored the museum's most valuable pieces and stole a bronze eagle worth comparatively nothing. The FBI says they know who did it. Both suspects are dead. The art has never surfaced. The museum still offers $10 million, no questions asked. And by the founder's will, nothing can be moved. So the empty frames still hang on the walls, waiting. 35 years and counting. File 2. The Hatton Garden Job. The Grandfather Heist. London. Easter weekend, 2015. The jewelry district is deserted for 4 days. A crew slips into the Hatton Garden safe deposit building through a fire escape. They ride the elevator shaft down, disable the alarm, and face a concrete vault wall. Then they bring out an industrial diamond-tipped drill. Over 2 nights, they bore 3 overlapping holes through half a meter of reinforced concrete. The hole is barely 45 centimeters wide. A grown man should not fit through it. Now the twist that made this heist a legend. The youngest member of the crew was in his 40s. The oldest was 76. The ringleader, Brian Reeder, was a legendary thief who came out of retirement. He traveled to the job on a bus using his senior citizen's pass. One of them had diabetes and brought insulin. Another needed a rest between drilling shifts. They emptied 73 boxes and walked out with over 14 million pounds in gold, gems, and cash. The press called it the biggest burglary in English legal history. But old habits die hard. They met at the same pub they always used. Police lip readers watched them brag about it on CCTV. Within weeks, most of the crew was arrested. 2/3 of the loot is still missing. The lesson? The drilling was flawless. The bragging was not. File 3. The Great Train Robbery. 15 minutes, 1 bridge, and a mail train. England, August 8, 1963, 3 a.m. The Glasgow to London mail train is running through the countryside. In the second carriage, 128 sacks of used banknotes heading to be destroyed. A 15-man crew has tampered with the trackside signal, a glove over the green light, a battery on the red. The train stops. In the dark, the crew swarms it like ants. They uncouple the engine, force the driver to move it up the track, and form a human chain. In 15 minutes, they move 2.6 million pounds, over 60 million today. Not one gun on the whole job. One driver hit with a metal bar. That single act of violence would haunt the case forever. They hide out at a farm and play Monopoly with real money while the biggest manhunt in British history erupts. Then the mistakes begin. They leave fingerprints on the Monopoly board, on a ketchup bottle, on a cat's milk saucer. One by one, they fall. The sentences are brutal, 30 years each, more than many murderers. One robber, Ronnie Biggs, escapes prison by scaling a wall into a furniture van. He flees to Brazil and lives as a celebrity fugitive for 36 years, selling t-shirts about himself. He returned voluntarily in 2001, old and sick, to finish his sentence in an English jail. The money was never fully recovered. The farm's Monopoly set is in a museum. File 4. The Green Vault. A smash and grab inside a palace. Dresden, Germany. November 25, 2019. 4:56 a.m. A fire breaks out at an electrical junction box near the city's historic palace. It wasn't an accident. It killed the streetlights and part of the alarm system. Minutes later, two figures cut through a window grill of the Green Vault Museum. Inside is the treasury of the Saxon kings, diamonds by the thousand. The thieves go straight to one display case and attack it with an axe. Security glass built to stop bullets shatters in seconds under 56 blows. In under 5 minutes, they take 21 pieces of royal jewelry, over 4,300 diamonds. Estimated value, 113 million euros. Some pieces historians call priceless. They escape in an Audi that is later found burned in an underground garage. The crew turned out to be members of a notorious Berlin crime family. Germany watched the trial like a soap opera. 6 young men, a family business of crime. In a secret deal, they returned most of the jewels. Most, not all. The white Saxon diamond and several irreplaceable pieces are still gone. Stones cut for kings, 300 years old, probably broken up and sold as anonymous carats. History, laundered into jewelry store display cases. Untraceable. File 5. The Tunnel of Fortaleza. The heist with air conditioning. Brazil. August 2005. A house near the Banco Central in Fortaleza runs a modest landscaping business. Neighbors see men hauling dirt out in vans. Perfectly normal for a landscaping company. Except the dirt is coming from underneath the house. For 3 months, the crew digs a tunnel 78 meters long, 4 meters under the streets. This is no crawl space. It has wooden supports, electric lighting, and air conditioning. Engineers later called its precision professional grade. It surfaces with GPS accuracy, directly beneath the bank's vault, under 1 meter of steel-reinforced concrete. Over a single weekend, they break through and remove 3.5 tons of banknotes. 164 million reais, about $70 million. The weight alone required a chain of men to move. The vault had motion sensors, but the money containers sat below the sensor line. Nobody noticed until Monday. The getaway was clean. The aftermath was not. Within months, gang members started turning up kidnapped or dead as other criminals hunted the money. Police recovered barely 20 million. The rest dissolved into Brazil. The mastermind was never conclusively identified. Somewhere, someone paid for a very good tunnel and retired very quietly. So what do the greatest heists have in common? Patience. The Gardner thieves cased for years. The tunnel took 3 months. Hatton Garden waited for the perfect weekend. The crime is almost never the hard part. Keeping the secret is. Loose lips sank Hatton Garden. Fingerprints sank the train robbers. The ones who were never caught? They're the ones who never told anyone. Which means the greatest thieves in history are people nobody has ever heard of. They might be a retired neighbor, a quiet coworker, the man feeding pigeons in the park. $500 million in art, millions in gems and cash. Still out there, in attics and vaults and safe houses. So here's my question for you. Which heist deserves the movie? And could you have kept the secret? Be honest in the comments, because the empty frames in Boston are still waiting for an answer. And someone out there knows exactly where those paintings are hanging tonight.